Hello, my name is Gia Lopez, and this is my final presentation on my favorite level. When thinking about which of my levels was my favorite, I was between my Battle Block Theater level and my Portal 2 level. Ultimately, I decided to go with my Portal 2 level because I felt like even though I really enjoyed my Battle Block Theater level, and I think it was very fun to play, it was very easy to grasp and concepts weren't too overly complicated, making the level not very challenging to make. While my Portal 2 level, which still felt fun to make, provided enough of a challenge. I think what I enjoyed the most about this level was that its main focus was puzzles. I had never really thought about creating puzzles before, but after working on this level, I realized that I really enjoyed creating complex puzzles and seeing others try to solve them, especially seeing all the different ways that a puzzle could be solved. So, a recurring theme you will be able to see in my level is the use of lasers and using reflection cubes to point the lasers in the desired direction. This was my primary mechanic throughout the level, and I would expand on this in each chamber. So this first chamber was the easiest one of the three. This is because I was just supposed to introduce the mechanic to the player, which is just using a reflection cube to point the laser into the laser catcher, like that. In my second chamber, I had the player use portals to get the laser to shoot at the laser relays, which would then power the stairs that the player would need in order to reach the exit. So once powered, the player would be able to reach the exit and shoot their other portal across where the laser receptacle is in order to open the exit. In this chamber, I wanted to introduce a few more mechanics, such as having to use portals to get the laser somewhere else, and needing to power more than one thing in order to finish a level, which is one of the main ways I made my third and final chamber more challenging. Finally, for my last chamber, I decided to give the player an option of whether to use the lasers of the cube, destroy the turrets, or just ignore the turrets by sneaking past them.
Don't make me call the dance police.
So once past these turrets, the player will need to use portals to power a receptacle inside the room that will then drop a cube that is needed to be placed on a platform, which will stop a moving platform that the player will need to place a reflection cube on to power a receptacle and open the exit. So some of my biggest challenges while making this level was balancing how complicated my chambers should be. In my first iteration of my level, there was a huge spike in difficulty from the second chamber to the third, which often made players feel frustrated. Therefore, for my final version, I had to really change up the way I made my chambers so that this was no longer an issue. Another issue, another challenge I encountered was trying to create my ideas with the limited options given to me by the level editor. And finally, for as far as improvements go, I have not made many improvements to my level since I turned it in, but I do think that I received some very good feedback about my final version, that I could be able to work on this level more in the future. I think the improvements I would like to make the most would be to fix some of the issues of the sizes of my rooms, since some of them feel too big with a lot of unused space. Another improvement I would like to make is adding some more mechanics to help make some of my chambers a bit more complicated so that the spike between levels isn't too drastic. Thank you.